Remember the soft drink commercial that had Aishwarya and Amir together? Well, that's all thanks to Prahlad. Since then, they have been great friends. So, as Aishwarya turns 42 on November 1st, that's this Sunday, 9XT.com, the show, sat down for a chat with Prahlad to know the real Aishwarya.
Aishwarya is the kind of person, she's not a normal film industry type. She has never been.
Prahlad let us in on some little-known facts about Aishwarya.
Very few people know this, but Aishwarya is one of the most studious girls you'll ever meet. She was always a topper. She is a Bharatanatyam exponent. She's done her solo. Okay, which means that she's studied for 8-9 years. And she's an accomplished dancer. And that helps her such a lot, because when Madhuri and her were in Devdas, I mean, you just looked at both of them, it was a feast. Because if Aishwarya was a lesser dancer than Madhuri, or the other way around, they would have dominated each other.
When Aishwarya took an almost 4-year break after the birth of her daughter Aradhya, she had switched off from the industry and her only focus was her child.
She stayed away for 4 years from the industry at the peak of her career after having a child, because she decided that the child was going to be a hands-on child, which means that she was going to be a hands-on mother. She never let the child out of her sight. She never let anybody else supervise or look after that kid. For 4 years, she looked after it 100%, 24/7. Now, at the peak of your career, to be able to just decide that I've had a child, I'm going to give it my 100%, takes a very special kind of person.
But now that she's made a comeback, she can't and won't rest easy. Prahlad says that her real comeback begins with her next film, which is Karan Johar's Ae Dil Hai Mushkil.
I think the next film is really going to decide exactly which direction and what her brand value is really going to be like. Because if this next film, which she's working very hard for, trust me, she's going to go back into the avatar that she was before she left. And when she comes in and she explodes on that film, on the screen, like she did with, what's his name, Bhansali's films, then her brand value is going to be infinite.
It's easy to be awed by such a beauty, and Prahlad says that there are many directors who are so intimidated by Aishwarya's looks that they don't even ask for retakes, except one man.
Mr. Bhansali is one of the few industry people who she's very, very comfortable with, and you can see that in her performances with her, because he demands a performance from her. And he can only demand a performance from her if she's willing to allow him into that space. And because she's allowed him into that space, he will not compromise her performance. So you'll realize that there's a huge difference between her performances and her looks in his films and in everybody else's films.
But what about Prahlad's directorial Happy Anniversary, which he wrote keeping Aishwarya in mind?
That might happen, might not happen. You know how the industry is. I mean, there's many slip between the cup and the lip. It's a great role for her, though. I've written it for her.
Well, there you go. A rare insight into Aishwarya from someone who is very close to her. And with that, it's time for us to head into a break. And when we meet after the break, I'll have a brand new look thanks to our style partner, Jabong.